Well, everybody, welcome back to an exclusive Raw Live episode. It's T.O. and myself. Joanne is not going to be able to make it on this exclusive moment, but we have some breaking news, folks. Breaking news. We, T.O., why don't you take over here?
I feel like we won one here for
the team,
for the kids especially. But yeah, we were being harassed. Well, should we tell the whole story? What do you want to do?
Yeah, why don't we start from the beginning here?
Let's start. If our fans know that our Facebook group page and many of our other pages associated with the show, we'll expand. And this individual is putting nasty pornographic images all over our stuff daily. It was a nuisance. So here at the Raw Live show, we did the only thing we could do and reached out to investigators, somebody who could help us. And they pointed us in the direction of said Andrew Nataro. And so we did our due diligence. We looked him up. He was in the area. We got his phone number. We called him. I spoke to him personally because I also have a lawn care page that I have children go to, and I don't want anybody, especially children, seeing the kind of material he was posting. So I called him and I said, your name was given to me by somebody who I trust. It's not like I'm picking it out of a hat. And I would like you to stop posting on my page. And the response I got was, you can't prove it. Now, I've called a lot of people and I've been called out myself. And if I know I didn't do something, the last thing I say is, you can't prove it. I would usually say something along the lines of, I didn't do that. That's not me. That's not my character. But no, the response I got was, you can't prove it. Okay, well,
we did.
You know what's better than that then? I want to see you. I want to see your face lie to me and tell me you're not doing it. So I had a list that was given to us of 3 of his addresses. So I simply said, I would like to speak to you. I have 3 addresses here. I can either go to all 3 of these houses and waste most of my day, or you can just tell me which one is yours. I'll come there and we can have a discussion about this. He said, wow, I can't believe that you think it's a good idea to go to somebody else's house. And, you know, that kind of took me aback. And I'm thinking, I can't believe you post this kind of crap on people's page, was my first instinct. But then I'm like, I think that's the best thing to do.
Talk about it.
Show up. I don't want to argue with you back and forth on Facebook. I want to see you lie to my face so I can make up my own mind. Is he telling me the truth or is this guy a liar? When he says, get off my property, I leave. That's it. I'm not trying to fight nobody. So when they say that, you know, it's threatening, to me, it isn't threatening. And luckily, the law doesn't give a crap about your feelings and how you feel about somebody else coming to your house. Because if you're doing this to somebody else, more people should come to your house because it's not cool. So that being said, he said, I just want this to end. We took all our pages, all our posts of him down because believe me, fans, we were blasting him. We were putting it all on our pages. Oh. This is who's doing it. We were tagging the news network. We were tagging the police. We were tagging his school that he works at.
The district attorney of Erie County.
Yes, because this kind of cyber bullying is exactly what it is. It needs to stop. So word is, we got exciting news. You know, I'm excited that this guy was arrested.
Cha-ching.
Found child porn on his computer.
Ooh.
Let me reiterate that this is a teacher. Okay, around kids all day long. All right, so he was arrested, booked, out on bond, and then ends up offing himself because obviously
of the guilt
and the threat of our show putting more of his crap out there. I mean, as soon as we would have found this out, we would have been blasting it because I told him on the phone, I'm 98% sure it's you, buddy. If I was 100, I wouldn't have to use the word allegedly.
Yeah.
I said, but we're not slandering you. Your name was brought to me. And look at what happens. People, oh, yeah, I can't believe you'd go to it. Yeah, darn right, we'll go to his house. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. This is Raw. I just want to tell people what that means. Raw to us stands for ready, able, willing, whenever. So if we got to show up, we're going to show up. And
Yep.
that's what that means, especially when it has to do with children.
Well, let's do this, Teal. Let's make it very clear that how this originally started was I was endorsing a candidate here locally for a local township position for superintendent. The day the sign was put in my yard, the very next day that sign had been removed, and it was alleged that he is the one taking the signs, and the sign was all bent up. And then the following day after that, after I had taken the Twitter along with some of my friends who had the same viewpoints and agreed on the same candidate, I was receiving very, very nasty, aggressive, semi-threatening text messages the next morning from an unknown number. And when I kept asking this said individual to identify himself, he refused. And he was saying things like, you should know who you're talking about before you talk about him, because you can get yourself in a big jam and this and that, bud. He kept saying the word bud, or my guy, or yeah, my guy, or, stuff like that. So another friend of mine who's been being harassed by this individual for a few years now, has a private investigator and a lawyer on his side to, protect himself. And they have investigated the fact that the verbiage, language used in these said text messages and posts that I'm going to show you shortly that he's been putting on his own social media, hating on the cops. The cops are all racist, don't respect the police and all this other stuff. And, wanting to teach, critical race theory and all this wacky shit. Okay. And he was blowing my phone up and I kept asking who you are. Why won't you identify yourself? After talking to my friend and sending screenshots of those text messages, it was 99% confirmed actually that it was this guy. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to, understand how people talk and how they type things, what their words are, the verbiage are, because there's people trained to detect that. And it was in fact confirmed that this guy was the one in fact sending these messages, making the threats. And then he proceeded at that point to start spamming our Facebook groups, Raw Chat and Real Talk, with very, very, and I've seen porn, and you have too, I'm certain. This was off the wall stuff. I mean, this was shit that just the picture before you click the link was disgusting. And for a teacher who's he's known for this, because we have had a dialogue with other people that we don't even know.
And I remember when those other people said, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Well, you know what?
We did.
There is something you can do about it.
Fight back, 1980s show. But we have other people that were posting on our Facebook posts about this guy, saying that they had run-ins with him and that he obsesses over people and that he cyber stalks and cyber bullies and doesn't stop. And he's been doing it for years. The cops aren't fond of him. Everybody's aware of him. I got a picture of him when he was on the news out with a megaphone and his mask, starting shit in the streets and being an asshole. But when we put the squeeze on him, and we're going to take a little credit here where credit is deserved, because it was over the course of the last month and a half where we really laid into him. I mean, anytime one of those things would end up on our group, we put his picture up and call him out. And that's how he got back in contact with you, via your Facebook post, saying that he was informed in the morning that somebody or some clowns or something like that or some psychos, wasn't that the word, psychos?
I probably still have the post.
Yeah. And some psychos were bad mouthing him and he should look into it. But it's really weird.
We were slandering him.
We were slandering him when we were in fact trying to get him to stop and leave us alone, because we were in fact aware it was him. So I'm going to share here some pictures of this yip, because he's unique, and I'm going to try to figure out how to do this here.
I just hope that I'm just, I was happy because I just know now that there's no more children that can be hurt or how it's just disgusting to think that this person is in a school.
He's a slime ball
this whole time. Like,
yeah. But in any event, these are the pictures, or some of the pictures right here. Okay. I don't think I can blow it up here, but if you look, he looks just like Pee Wee Herman. First of all, he's very awkward. This is him. Can you see my arrow there pointing? So this is him. And some of the messages is that this guy sends are just crazy. Some of his social media posts on hating the cops and all that good stuff. So really, the guy is just out there.
A well-known Antifa member. It said whatever
Well-known,
that means.
well, he is an Antifa member. He's well known for being an Antifa member. And these are just a handful of his posts of what he's been putting out on social media in reference to, you know, hating on the cops and don't listen to the cops and the cops are no good and this and that and the other thing. And he was putting tips out there for people on 47 things to do when you get pulled over by a police officer. Just being an asshole. He doesn't like the cops. He thinks they're all trouble. And he has been causing nothing but trouble for us and for other people, friends of mine. You.
I didn't even know.
You didn't know him. And the reason he got linked up with us was because of my political view. And you had the same political view, I believe. And because of us not having the same political view as this asshole, we were then to pay the price of his cyber stalking, harassment, and threats. And so we decided to start posting. Anytime he slammed our groups, we would post and we would tag the local news stations, the local police department, the district attorney, the courthouse, his school district. And within a month and a half, he was brought in on charges of possession of child porn. And
you know, when I first found out about this, because actually my sister had called me and she said my niece, her daughter, wanted to look at my lawn care page. She clicked on it, and all of a sudden there was this nasty crap.
You can say what it was.
I don't even know what it was because it was a nasty image of a young girl. So my sister calls me and she's like, "I can't believe that," like yelling at me, like it's my fault. And this is the response that I've been getting. Like, this is my fault. Like I somehow asked for this guy to post these nasty shit on my page. And that's the kind of reaction I don't understand these days. Because yeah, I'm going to call him out, and you should be on my side for calling somebody like that out. You shouldn't take the opposite side and say, "Oh no, just let it go." No, that's what's going to happen. They're saying this is the year of the truth, and the sucking truth came out on this guy.
Yep.
And I'm glad it did, and I'm glad it ate him. I'm glad it ate him alive.
Yep.
And he knew that he wasn't going to be able to face nobody, and I don't give a damn.
I don't either.
I am glad.
He
can't hurt no more freaking kids, and he was that freaking close to him.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't want to hear nothing else.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's do this. All the information that we're bringing out right now is information that is public, okay? It is publicly known that this guy has been nothing but a thorn in the side of people that don't agree with his political values of the far left wing, of the way he believes. And if you don't believe in what he believes in, he is going to come after you obsessively. And that's just the way it is. And he's got multiple different usernames and screen names and stuff so that he can monitor and harass people. He's been doing so for years. And he finally got to me, and I did tell my one friend, and my one friend, I know you're listening. I'm not going to mention your name because, you know, for privacy reasons, but I want to say for maybe one little hair, maybe he doubted the ability of Raww Live.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. To get at this guy and to put the squeeze on. And that's exactly what we did. In fact, I think there was a time that you, in fact, did show up to his one house and try to have a conversation, and it didn't go very well.
Well, yeah, that's when I said, I have 3 addresses. Can you please just give me the right one? So I'm not
okay. So I misunderstood. I thought you actually visited his home, as far as I understand.
No.
Okay. So you were going to visit his home.
Yeah, I said I have 3 addresses here. I don't want to be driving around to every house.
Just give me your fucking address.
And then that's when he responded to me, what makes you believe that it's a good idea to go to somebody's house?
Well, you almost want to ask him, why do you think it's a good idea to be posting nasty porn on random people's group pages on Facebook and being pissed off that somebody doesn't agree with you? And then he had the nerve to tell me,
prove it,
that the Republicans are destroying New York State. Oh, well, last time I heard, and I'm a New York State resident now for 44 of my 45 years of life, hasn't it always been a blue state?
Yep.
Democratic? Yep. How the fuck are the Republicans destroying New York? What sense does that even make?
They both suck.
Here's the deal. Why would he say something so stupid as to, well, your Republicans are destroying
Well,
New York State.
We've studied him pretty
Heavily.
intensely here, and I could tell you that there's a narcissism is huge in this case.
Yeah.
For one to be so loud
Mm-hmm.
and boisterous and in the face of the media, and then to have this crap on your computer and you're doing these kind of things, you'd think you wouldn't want to be such a loudmouth. So that'll tell you right there that he's some sort of narcissist that thinks he's not going to get in trouble. I'm above everything.
Well, he's a teacher.
Nobody can bother me.
He's a teacher.
Well, Raw Live will bother you.
He's a teacher.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
not all teachers are bad, but clearly
he's a teacher.
Clearly, this one was not a good egg. Hopefully, they sent letters to to these children that this guy has taught and said, "Hey, anybody step forward if you think any kind of weird. We're here to help you. We want to listen to you. If anybody needs counseling, you know, hopefully they do that and not just throw it under the bus."
I figured out how to pull him up so that everyone can see him. There he is, that cute guy. That son of a gun, that guy. Anyways, this is one of many of his screen names that he was using, and here it is. Here's one that he said: defund the Buffalo Police Department. They do a horrible job at keeping anyone safe. Invest in communities. Wow. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
And then he wrote to actually Stefan. I can't.
Oh,
he's one of the your reading of the whatever that is, time does not equate to my bachelor's degree. See, this is where you on the what
GDP don't get it.
I am more intelligent than you. Clearly so not. Is Fauci. This is why you need to be quiet and listen.
See,
so you clearly have no idea how mRNA works. You just know you don't want it. Sounds like a sheep to me. And yes, I know how it works. I have a bachelor's in biology, you chud.
Wow.
What does that even mean? And here he is right here. Now, this is the guy that said clearly in our last Facebook dialogue that he was not part of the Buffalo Antifa.
Oh, he did?
Well, here he is out protesting during the pandemic with a mask on and a megaphone, and you can see clearly in a picture of the Buffalo police. So he's well known by the police. He is a menace, was a menace, okay? So we're not making this shit up. He's in the news. We're not slandering this guy. He slandered himself, okay? By the stuff that he puts up. You know what? I don't even know what this is. When I'm elected to the school board, you're going to want to get the meetings early because it's going to be standing room only. What? And then Andrew Notaro wrote,
"Yeah, because there are going to be so many people against you saying, how the hell are you even there?"
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff we're working with here.
Please, anybody, leave your comments if you agree, disagree. We just like to. Any kind of banter on this. If you've dealt with this guy before, how you feel. If you feel bad about it, if you feel bad for him, go ahead, leave your comments. We won't judge. We like maybe we're out of line here, but
we you know what, we might very well be out of line. But here's the problem, okay? He did this stuff. He acted this way. He got himself into his own jam. And when you randomly post on Facebook, okay, a concern that this is the individual plastering your Facebook groups with rubbish, dirty ass, nasty, I want to almost say borderline snuff illegal film for anyone to click on, especially young children.
Definitely
you're
evil,
a sick son of a bitch.
Evil links.
And he ought to be held accountable for that. Absolutely held accountable for that. And I think he knew that he was going to be held accountable. Okay.
Oh, he knew we weren't going away.
He knew we weren't going away. And I told my friend we wouldn't go away. So
no, we're in it for the children. If you're not, they're the most innocent.
Leave the kids alone. You're a teacher, for crying out loud. Do you not watch the news? If you're so smart, buddy, if you're so smart with a bachelor's degree in anything, you would know enough that computers, you can never fully erase what's on a computer. If you thought for 1 second that you were never going to be figured out and nobody would ever be able to get in your hard drive and find all the nasty pornographic material of young children, that you had, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful to believe that the posts we made a difference, and we're looked at.
I hope so.
By the people.
I really do.
Otherwise, the timing is just freaking spot on, and karma is alive.
Yeah, do I wish death upon people? No.
No.
Okay. Do I wish death upon child molesters? Yes, I do. I think that guy knew once that he was arraigned or indicted or whatever and got out on his own recognizance or bond or whatever, he knew it was over. He didn't want the old choo-choo train to run over him and,
couldn't handle it.
Wendy Correctional or Attica or wherever they would have sent him.
It's like people who beat women and touch kids.
Yep.
They're weak.
They're weak.
They're weak.
Weak.
And they can't take it.
They can't take it.
Yep. Hiding behind a mask,
And
hiding behind a,
if you do the crime, do the time. Okay. And it's funny because the few posts that we did put out on Facebook, and one of which you had removed when he agreed to knock his shit off.
Sure did. I'm a man of my word.
Yep. There were people that we never met that weren't even friends on your Facebook that messaged in saying, we've had run-ins with this guy. He obsesses. This is what he does. He's part of Buffalo Antifa. So we don't feel a way at all that we got this guy off the streets. If he killed himself, that's on him.
Yeah, I have no.
I didn't kill him. I didn't pull trigger. I didn't.
No, we're not bringing anything
I didn't create
other than
the news.
him involved too either. Like our beef was with him.
He started all this shit. Years prior to me getting effed with, okay, he was messing with my friends who had their political beliefs, and he was after them and other people, and known acquaintances of his or associates, if you want to call them that were out to just get people, fuck with people, and harass people into either not voting or B, being fearful of their life for voting for something they didn't believe in. So if you didn't agree with Andrew Notaro, you're done. And if you posted anything on Twitter or Facebook and he got wind of it and it wasn't his beliefs, you were also done in a different way, where he would start spamming the hell out of you. And we would call him out, and we called him out, and we did not lay off. We did not lay off to the very second. In fact, after your little, I guess, vague agreement with him to stop the shit, he did it again.
He did. He waited 2 weeks and he did it again.
He did it again because we had mentioned on Facebook or something that he had stopped, and he was like, no, I didn't.
Yep.
So here we are on what, Tuesday?
Valentine's.
No, it's not Valentine's Day.
It's not tomorrow. No. I was going to say
it's the 13th. 13th. Wow, 13. What a number lately, huh? But no, we called the guy out and he couldn't handle it. And I want to take credit where credit's deserved. Okay, there were other people that filed complaints about this guy to the school and obviously made police reports and other things like that to get the ball rolling at least. But I want to take credit for at least the last month and a half where we just laid into him.
I mean, he asked for it. And
told him we were going to come in front of his house and do a live show and call him out and ask him.
He didn't like that.
In fact, I did say to him, maybe we can find out why you're so fucking angry. Why don't we have a conversation?
Yeah.
There was no threats. There was like, we're people that don't hide behind a fucking computer screen. If you want to talk, you want to threaten us, you want to give us harassing text messages from all different Google phone numbers because you think you're slick. Okay, obviously you're not that slick, buddy, because you got caught. Third of all, showing no integrity, and you're a fucking teacher.
Yeah. Aren't you afraid to go to his house? I couldn't believe I got somebody ask me that.
You're afraid of what?
Why would the truth?
What would I be afraid of?
Why would the truth ever be afraid?
I'm not afraid of this guy. And and I understand why there might be a lot of people that were afraid of him, and they were. It might not have been physical. It might have been more so afraid of what he could do online to damage families or businesses or whatnot. Because my friend did warn me, careful, he's crazy, and he'll come after your podcast and everything. And what did he do?
Good.
He got raw lived.
He did.
He got raw fucking lived. And I promised him, and then you remember in that dialogue, I called him out. We know who you are, bud. We know who you are, my guy. Okay. And we will come in front of your house, and we can come in front of your house, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it, Antifa boy.
He did.
And then he said, let me be, about 14 times, but yet he kept coming back. Let me be. And we didn't say nothing, but then he'd come back with something else because he knew we knew. And then all of a sudden, poof, we're blocked.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, if you didn't do something, man, well, why are you running?
When that first answer I got was, you can't prove it.
Hey, you know what? We don't need to prove shit. Okay. And I'll tell you why. Because it's already been proven this guy's a fucking troublemaker. He's been doing it for years. People know about him. We didn't start this.
No,
as soon as I got those text messages the next morning after that sign had been taken, I messaged my friend saying, wow, my sign had been taken, and I got all these weird text messages. He immediately said, send me screenshots of those said text messages and I'll have my investigator take a look at them within minutes. The guy wrote back, it was him. This is what he's known for. This is how he speaks. This is his verbiage. It's like a forensic analysis of people's handwriting. Okay.
How much time do these people teachers have that they can just run around stealing science? Don't you have lesson plans to do?
Well, God. And to know that he's a teacher, it makes it even more disturbing. For people to get mad at us for wanting him to knock this shit off is more aggravating to me than anything.
Oh, it's pissing me off.
We're the ones getting fucking aggravated. He's on our Facebook groups, not yours, ours, putting disgusting material on there that we would never approve otherwise.
Yeah.
And he was doing it for months, ever since November.
He was.
Ever since November, this guy has been messing with my friend Tio and I. And we finally decided we're going to put the kibbutz on this and we're going to squeeze him out. And that's exactly what we did by telling him we were going to come right to his house, by making the phone calls to his family, leaving voicemails for his wife and other resources that we had to get to him, where he knew that we were onto his scheme. And for you to put that post up on your Facebook and for somebody to warn him, nobody warned him. He was watching us. Okay. Come on. We didn't write his name. We just put his picture up. We didn't tag him. We put his picture up. So somebody just randomly saw your Facebook who wasn't a friend with you, and to tell him that we were talking smack about him and that we were psychos. We're the psychos.
Yeah, apparently. I mean,
how are we the psychos?
It's weird how society.
How are we the psychos?
Well, society works that way. He's preying on children.
He's using his. First of all, let's clarify. He's a public servant, okay? Just like that Long Island auditor guy, which I can't stand. I want to.
I like him.
He gets a little too annoying sometimes. Like, come on, man.
At least he's friendly.
He's
like me. I wasn't mean to this guy.
No comparison. I'm just saying he starts trouble. He sometimes he pokes around a little too much just to egg people on. But
Sure.
hey, that's his thing. This guy came to us. He started by text messaging me at random one morning, breaking my chops because of my viewpoints on the election at that point. And I had very valid reasons to feel the way I felt, okay? I was arguing about a vote that I was going to make to change the way things were at a place that I worked that was shitty with the current leadership at the time. So I'm not allowed to vote the way I want to vote unless it's Andrew Notaro's way. Again, we're not slandering the guy. He did this to himself. Okay. He put himself out there. He's the one that was posting on his social media about hating the cops, calling them all pigs. They need to be retrained. And they're all racist. And they're, and the whole critical race theory thing. Why don't you kind of take that,
because you know what that is. I think it has something to do with teaching that there's always been people have always put down other races, and there's no way they can make the money that said white people make, and that they've just been held down. And they want to get rid of old books, and just start teaching all these.
It says here, critical race theory. It's a way of understanding how American racism has shaped public policy or decisive discourse that pits people of color against white people. So he was essentially trying to start a race war.
Pretty much is what that is. Yeah.
Yeah. He was trying to start a race war, and he lost. And listen, I don't take pride in knowing that because of me, somebody killed themselves. In fact, I don't think it was only me or only you. I think it was a combination of everybody.
It was his own actions.
Getting tired of his shit and harassing people. And you can only do something for so long. Like they say, a body only stays buried for so long until it comes out. And it's funny because on some of the comments that were on your Facebook.
Yeah, shout out to the Raww Live members who figured it right out.
Yeah. What were they saying? He looks like a
pedo.
There was like 3 different comments in one post that, wow, he looks like a pedophile and he's around teachers.
See?
Around students.
Stands out.
And then it comes out a month later that he's alleged pedophile. Now, if he was only alleged and he knew he wasn't guilty, why did he kill himself?
Oh, yeah. No, the guilt.
Why did he kill
himself? He couldn't face the life after this.
Why did he kill himself?
Well, because guilt of being guilty.
Guilt and not wanting to face the birds, man. You didn't want to face the fact that you were caught and that you were called out, and it was a team effort all the way around by everybody involved that was trying to get this guy out. And there were multiple letters, multiple calls to the school that he worked at. So I'm not going to say it was just us. I mean, there was only one phone call made by us to the school, and the response we got was very generic. It's, we care about our students' well-being and blah, 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 blah. This is something we take seriously and not lightly. It will be investigated. Blah, 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 blah.
Maybe it was.
And there was many other people that wrote that same letter in or called that, dialed that same number and put the same complaint in. So it's not just us. I think that we were the ones that finally said, we're not fucking afraid of you.
God, it would have been sweet if we were at his house when he got arrested.
What's most disturbing to me is that he was allowed to go on for it as long as he did. And this is going on years.
That's why I'm saying hopefully the school does the right thing and offers help to some of these students that he was teaching, because you never know.
Absolutely.
Or freaking photos this guy's taking of your own kids.
Absolutely. I just think that
crap
piece of shit. And to me, if somebody's accusing me of something, I'm going to at least entertain a conversation and ask them, well, why would you think that? Where's your information coming from? Where are your sources? And he didn't even do that. He just right away went on the attack, calling us Bud and my guy. And you guys are clueless. You have no clue what you're talking about. I don't know what kind of show you run there. Well, the kind of show we run, asshole, is the kind of show that people like you are afraid of because we talk truth. And how you doing up there? Ask him. How's he doing?
Well, I got to look down.
Yeah, I can. He's in Helm.
Well, that's where they go.
That's where they go. And you know what? I am sorry for all the students that had to, go through what they went through with this guy, because this guy groomed them. Obviously, he was grooming them, and that's what sickos do. They make these children believe that what's happening is okay.
That's narcissistic behavior,
and
all over.
And his narcissistic behavior came out in many ways when he's out there protesting with the megaphone, or when he's posting on social media how he hates the cops and they're all racist and defund the police. But you know what? He'd be the first son of a bitch. If we would have shown up at his house, what do you think he would have done?
Called the police.
He would have called the cops. And you know what the cops would have done?
Showed up.
They would have showed up. And you know what else they would have done? Made sure that we stayed safe, because we don't want the police defunded. This asshole did.
Yeah.
Okay. He took on this leadership role in his own mind. He decided to go out and harass people. He's the one that decided that it would be a good idea to send text messages via Google phone. He's the one that thought it was a good idea to get into child porn and think that because he's so smart with computers and that he's so good at creating bots and software.
Bachelor degree taught me how to do it.
Yeah, his bachelor's degree in science, blah, blah, blah. It almost makes you wonder if that was all forged. I mean, was this guy really a qualified individual to be teaching?
Well, times are changing.
Times are changing. Truth is coming out.
The truth will come out.
The truth will prevail.
And there's no more hiding. You can't hide from Raww Live.
You can't hide from Raww Live. And if there's anybody out there that doesn't like what we're saying or what we're doing and how we're doing it, rawlive.com. Drop us a message. Go to our email, info@rawlive.com. By all means, disagree with us. We don't care, because you know what? We know that he was harassing us. He was harassing other friends of mine, and he's been doing it for such a long time. And I know it's not just me and my friends. There's a lot of other people that this guy is affected. And if you hit the right family with that sort of cyberbullying, it could become scary. If you're getting random text messages from a random number, basically threatening you if you vote said way that you're gonna, be punished. You don't know what's coming.
I got my damn family asking me why that shit's on my, why is that on my page?
Hey, and for people that are like, why are you happy he's dead? Well,
no, that ain't it. I'm happy that he can't hurt any more kids.
True. Good point. You caught me there. But there are people that are going to say you're inhumane by saying that he shouldn't have died. He should have paid his penalty in prison. Well, we didn't kill him.
No.
Cops didn't kill him.
I didn't ask
the cops. The cops he wanted to defund did not kill him.
No.
He is the one that walked out of that courtroom, went home and said, I'm going to lose this, and I don't want to spend a day in prison.
I just wanted a conversation.
That's all we asked for, was a conversation. And we were very respectful. And
Always.
In fact, I even said to him, why don't we talk and maybe we can find out why you're so goddamn angry. Let's get to the bottom of this and try to find a happy medium. That's what this is all about, conversation. His response was, let me be. Well, let us be. Get off our goddamn Facebook groups with your sick porno shit And some of it looked like it could have been underage porn too. I didn't.
Yeah.
I never clicked into it.
Never.
We just deleted and blocked, deleted, blocked, deleted, blocked. But there was some imaging that could have.
I've never seen anything like that.
Neither have I. And we both looked at porn, and this was like over the top dark web shit. And the pictures that were on the links to be clicked were sometimes questionable if it was children or not. And that's why we took a stand. And that's why we decided that it was enough of this clown. And we did not let up until we had to let up.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks have been quiet. He's left us alone.
I wonder why.
Well, wonder why. He's because he wasn't able to get to his computer.
Exactly.
He was sitting in the old tank.
I'm glad they confiscated that. I'm glad they have the messages that I've sent to him, and I'm glad.
Oh, I'm not worried.
Raw Live is in the plus green section on this one. Raw Live 1, pedo 0.
I said to my friend, we were talking. I said to him, I go, what did I call him? We're the pedophile patrol. I said to him, I go, who's next? Who's next? Who else wants to start sending text messages and being an asshole when the election comes up here in a year in November? What are you going to do then? Or do you have people in the wings waiting to take over for you? Or is this going to finally once and for all end your madness here in Buffalo, New York?
We got to try to guess the new group that's going to start. Because there was BLM, then Antifa. What's the new one going to be?
I don't know. But this whole Antifa thing is quite confusing to me because they have views on both sides.
They kind of dropped off the map here.
Well, now that he's gone, he was a so-called leader of Antifa.
Ringleader.
He was a ringleader. Ringleader.
Recruiting kids.
Yeah, he was recruiting kids.
The
most likely.
KKK.
Well, when he's trying to fight to to continue teaching critical race theory.
I can only imagine what is said in that classroom.
Oh, well, he was known for like being a music teacher most of all. He was a teacher of the arts, so I'm not certain how much classroom work he had, but I'm gonna guess that he started out originally as a teacher. And I mean, this guy just wouldn't go away forever. It was like every day.
It's disgusting.
There was 2 or 3 posts, and me.
I mean, it was literally so bad that I had to get on the phone and call. I don't just call people random and accuse you of stupid shit. Like if I'm calling you, we pretty well damn know it's you.
Yeah.
So that's what I knew going into it. That's why I wanted to see him lie to my face.
That's the thing. We were given contact information to this guy by reliable sources, people that have been investigating him, his last known addresses, his job and where he worked and how much he made. His public record.
Wasn't a name out of a hat, dude.
It was not a name out of a hat. This guy is a public servant. He's a teacher. All of his personal information is not personal. It is public. Mm-hmm. I worked for 2 government jobs, and guess what? My address, my salary, everything was online. My phone numbers, because we are public servants.
Yeah.
So nothing that we're saying right now is slandering. It's all fact based on what we know. Fair enough?
I mean, they pretty much sealed the deal here.
Sealed the deal. I mean, when we got the information earlier today that he had committed suicide, it was almost like a sigh of relief in a way. Like this guy's finally, and I don't want to sound selfish, but leave us the fuck alone.
I just smiled from ear to ear all day for probably about 12 hours. My face hurts. I was accused of being happy that somebody's gone. That wasn't it at all. I was very happy that there was no other children because of me and our show. And you especially, you were on this guy. I'm more of a, we're going to talk.
Who, me?
You could lie to my face. I'll give you one chance to lie to me. But after that, I'm not trusting you no more. And he told me that, and then he lied. He posted more stuff. I was done. Are you
saying that I was more on him than you?
Oh yeah, definitely. You kept on me to keep on him. For sure.
Well, I wanted to stay on him because I wanted him to stop.
And I'm more of a let somebody have their voice, let them do what they want. Just don't put that crap on my page. Sure. And if you tell me you're not going to do it anymore,
then don't do it anymore. And he kept doing it.
He just kept doing it.
He couldn't stop. It was like he was addicted. It was definitely an addiction.
I mean, after he probably rubs one out to little boys and whatever, he sends it to
rub one out.
I don't know. He sends it to everybody, the masses.
Jeez.
I don't know how these people deal or what his deal is.
I don't either. And what I can say is he's gone.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to say rest in peace because I don't feel comfortable saying that to the man. I don't think he should rest in peace. I think he should be suffering for his remaining days in hell. He deserved everything he got. He deserved everything he got. He took his own life because he knew that what he was doing was wrong. And that's really what it comes down to. I really believe that he took his own life because he knew that he did what he shouldn't do.
And was scared of the repercussions of what happens when people where he's going find out what he did.
You know, and that's the culture in prison. I mean, let's face it. There's a few people that aren't liked in prison, rapists, child molesters. And in prison, you can go in and you don't have to disclose verbally to any other inmate what you are in for. However, there are ways that the inmates find what they call your paperwork.
Yep.
They will find out why you're in. And it wouldn't go well. I mean, it would be long days for him, and he knew it. And especially wearing a bow tie, sheesh,
Wasn't built for it.
he is a Chippendale ready to roll in any unit in any prison in New York State.
They would have tore that ass up.
It could have been federal. I mean, that could have been federal charges too. I mean, federal prison, you don't get paroled. You're there even longer. Whew.
We need to stronger child sex laws.
We need something because it's really to the point now where it's happening so often. You would think that people would just stop. Like, don't you realize you're going to get fucking caught? I mean,
no.
Computers, to your comment when we were doing the show on Lumi, when you say your phone is always listening or watching.
I just got one now.
I'll bet you that you know, he was.
Hey, I'm looking. Oh, I did get an email.
No, you didn't.
Oh no, it's not Looms.
He definitely was a guilty man of what he did, or he wouldn't have offed himself so quick. He would have went through the legal process. He would have probably been put on administrative leave with pay. Blah 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 blah. We all know how that shit works out, right? The point is, you don't just kill yourself if you're innocent. If I'm innocent of a crime, I'm gonna fight that. I'm going to fight that. I am not going to jail because
I'm not questioning whether the guy was guilty anymore at all.
Nor
was I really when we got his name. I mean, I trust who we got his name from.
Yes.
He can't tell us the truth anyways. And I knew that. I knew when I called him, he couldn't tell me the truth.
He was lying.
Which I said to him. I said, it's you. I know it's you. And I know you can't tell me it's you.
Right.
So
it's you.
Stop.
And then I think somebody that wasn't even friends with you on Facebook even told him to cut the shit.
Yeah, they did.
Because they knew about him. Cut the shit. They said, cut the shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, cut the shit, my guy.
Yep.
My guy and bud. I mean, not everybody uses those words. Not everybody uses those words. And he did it to himself. And we were dying to get on here and do a show and to talk about it because we did have a show planned that wasn't going to be in front of his house, but we were going to do a show to further expose him and his nonsense in hopes of him stopping. But we didn't have to complete that job because apparently tagging the DA and the news and the police and the schools and showing the vulgar material he had been sending and making the phone calls, might
have made a difference.
Well,
shout out to Facebook if that was the case, and to our local
police department.
Good
for you
for looking into that.
Thank you, because you know what? He was a monster. He's an evil monster, and he belongs in hell where he is now.
Maybe they did see the posts he put on our page when we reported them, and they did click him, and they do look into that. I don't know what happens after you report stuff, but clearly something happened
on the way to heaven,
on the way to hell for this bastard.
Yeah. And for me, I was kind of stunned. I was in a deep sleep. As you know, I took a couple days shutdown where I needed to take a break, and I kept hearing my phone go off and go off and go off, go off. I'm like, what the fucking A? And it was you telling me the news, and I was like, boom, I jumped up out of bed going, what? And I called you. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Where? What? And it's just a small world because, we have people that we know that work for the schools that could verify his wife's existence. And we were actually translating messages through his wife to him. In fact, we left his wife a voicemail to get him to knock the shit off.
Yeah, because he wasn't answering.
Well, he wouldn't answer his own phone. Why wouldn't he answer his own phone? Guilty. He would have been found guilty so quick. It would have been a bench trial.
Well, they probably had it. I mean, maybe there was an investigation going on for a long time.
There probably has been an investigation going on for a long time, but then you have Facebook posts of people saying he looks like a pedophile. He probably molested his students.
Don't mess with Raww Live in our audience. We
don't.
We have very good intuition over here.
Not only that, but we have resources at our fingertips for a lot of things, especially here locally. We do have a lot of resources. We do know a lot of people in high places, and we can find things out.
It's not hard. It's a small world.
It is a small world.
You can't hide.
Especially where we live. I mean,
hiding.
There's no hiding. And this guy was boldly going around taking political signs, which is a crime all on its own.
It is.
That's called political. What is it?
Might as well just kick my mailbox, you freaking
bozo. But
scum bum. What do they used to say?
Scum bum bum bum.
Well, he can't hurt any more kids.
That's a good thing.
That's the greatest thing in life.
That's the greatest thing.
And here on Raww Live.
We're going to take the credit that we deserve. Might be a little minute bit of credit by maybe
pat your own back.
Yeah. We kind of maybe put that last little squeeze on him.
You can have my phone, police. You can have my computer. I'll hand it over.
Yeah, we didn't say nothing online.
Nothing on my stuff.
You can track back to the day he sent me the text messages, and my first response to him was, "Eat shit. Who are you?" Because he opened up with you better know who you're talking about before you're talking about him, or bad things can happen. That's when I woke up to him. I go, eat shit. Who is this?
Aren't you scared? Someone
I was so scared, man.
The truth will never be afraid.
I was so scared. He scared me. Not really. Listen, the guy's done what he's done. He did what he did. He got caught. And now, unfortunately, he leaves his poor wife behind.
People feel bad for pedos like this.
Yeah, I don't get it. Why?
I don't know. But it's a trending thing where people think it's a mental illness. They can't help themselves, and we should feel bad for them. I feel bad for the children, personally. Before any of this, definitely over him.
For sure. But, to put a known local Antifa leader where he belongs, and not by our hands are clean in this one, was refreshing to know that, here at Raww Live, you and I, T.O., we teamed up and we worked I don't want to say we worked the phones because that's an old fashioned statement, but we worked the phones. I mean,
we called it out.
We called a horse a horse.
We called him right on his little horse line too.
Yep. And when we put the I'm going to have to show that picture because it's just too damn close. There's a picture of him that's friggin' hilarious where he is actually looks like Pee Wee friggin' Herman. And I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself but to put this up because,
well, once again, for those just joining us, Raww Live, we were being harassed
by this guy.
Not Pee Wee. Not Pee Wee Herman.
This yippity-doo right here. His name was Andrew Nataro. And
we found out who he was. We called him. We went to, we said we were going to go to his house when I talked to him on the phone.
He didn't want to talk.
And he was arrested for child porn. He was spamming our pages with tons of porn, tons of questionable stuff. And
he got caught. And I want to, first of all, credit many, many other people that stayed thick on this guy and helped pursue him and to stop his shenanigans because he wasn't going to stop. He was obsessive. He had a mental disorder where he felt the need or that drive to just fucking harass people that didn't agree with him. And that's not the way politics should work. That's not the way a free country should work. If I don't believe in your thoughts, I'm not going to penalize you, harass you, threaten you, and put shitty stuff on your Facebook. I'm not going to do that. Why? Because I'm normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
I respect your opinion. That's why. I mean, you can believe whatever you want.
Yeah. And this guy just thought it would be okay to just drill on us and hammer on us and make us feel away. And if we don't vote the way he votes, then we're pieces of shit and we should go to hell.
We're not gonna take it.
Oh my God. I mean, the guy's a nightmare. And he's finally done. He's gone, but there are more. There's more out there, and everyone just be aware.
Raww Live is coming for him.
Just be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the people that you think are friends. Be aware, especially around election time, that this country is going to be, well, I don't want to say evenly divided because it's not going to be, but everyone's going to have their political view, and the best thing to do is kind of keep your political views to yourself. In this time or day,
Or be able to handle a normal discussion.
or have a conversation.
I was pretty much on Trump's side during the election, and I was talking to a super liberal, and she goes to me, I wish that all Republicans were like you. And I said, what do you mean by that? And she goes, well, you don't make fun of me after I say something.
Why
you
would we?
listen.
Why would we?
And then you bring up other points that I can respect. And I said, well, that's what a dialogue is.
Yeah.
I said, I don't hate you because of what you believe.
Whoa.
Or because it's the opposite of what I believe.
That's crazy.
I like to get to know why and how you got to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we can find a common ground. And sometimes we can, sometimes we can't.
That's the name of the game.
The name of the damn game.
Don't
Spam my goddamn page. Don't spam my damn page.
Leave my page alone. I mean, that's what I think aggravated me the most is, when you had mentioned a family member saying that a child had seen this. I think that's where it kind of sparked me into, all right, now we're going to go after this guy.
Yeah.
Not physically, but we're going to call him out. And we did.
Sure. It's a gosh darn lawn care show. Okay. I help kids, adults take care of their lawns. This has nothing to do with politics, or I didn't even know who the hell this guy was. And he puts these nasty stuff on my stuff. Okay. Just because he knew I was related to this show. Screw you.
Yeah. Screw you and the casket too.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Karma's
a bitch. Karma's
real.
a bitch. It is real. I've experienced karma.
Comes around, goes around.
It sure does. When you do something to somebody long enough and they get tired of it, they can't handle the backlash.
Nope. It was going to come back around.
It's the behind the screen bullies, or the ones that'll talk shit on the phone or text their threats, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the ones like us who will actually pay them a visit.
I said, this is not threatening. I said, I'm old school. I like face-to-face.
Let's talk.
Communication so I can see you.
Yeah.
And look at you.
Yeah.
While you lie to me. I want to know what you look like when you're lying to me, telling me you didn't do it. When I know it was you. See, sometimes I ask questions I already know the answer to. So I can, so I know who the hell I'm dealing with.
Yep.
And this was one of those cases.
And here's my list right here. My list. You see my list?
I do.
Get my list. And I got my list here.
You already know.
We already know. But the point is, we're happy that there was a resolution to this. Again, we don't endorse people committing suicide. I am a huge mental health advocate. Okay. Unfortunately, I've had dark times in my life. However, those dark times weren't because of guilt. Those were because of traumatic situations. This guy's way out was, I'm going to kill myself because I don't want to face the news. Essentially, I don't want to come out as who I really was and have been. And it was more, I think, shame, embarrassment.
I mean, what else could you feel if you're doing stuff like this to children?
Obviously, he didn't feel shame during the time. I think he felt shame because he got caught. And I think he felt scared that he knew he was done. Yeah. And I think that 1 minute that he had those orange fucking flip-flops on and he was chained up and he was walked down into a unit.
And he said,
Raww
Live might get a hold of this.
Raww Live knows. And he was probably writing us a letter. Can you imagine the hate letter he would have been writing us?
I would have sent him a sweatshirt.
Yeah, send them. Well, they can't have hoodies in jail.
No, yeah, you're right.
They take the strings out, and they can only have issues.
Clearly,
but he doesn't deserve one. Why would we waste money giving him something when he was harassing the hell out of us?
Because we're nice. We're nice here on Raww Live.
Yeah, we are.
The truth matters to us, though.
Yeah, it does.
And we don't like that kind of activity.
We don't either
on our show.
Nope. And it won't happen again. Well, it will. There are going to be people that, because we do take live call-ins.
Copycat clowns.
You know what? There are a couple people watching live. We can take a live call-in if you want. If there's anybody listening that wants to call in and comment, I will see if I can put the number up here somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do that.
Yeah, well, I'd love to know other people's takes on on pedophiles and what is the proper recourse that they should deal with, and if we should feel bad for somebody taking their own life after this.
It is quite a topic, but I'm going to put our show phone number in here.
It's almost been 24 hours here, and I can't get anything out of my head other than children, and maybe we might have helped.
Yeah.
At least one.
Hey, if we help one, that's better than none. I did put the phone number up, folks. If you look at the bottom of my name there in the picture, area code 716-218-3825. If you want to call on live, because it does look like we're live on Twitch, and at least
you could be anonymous too. We don't need to know.
We just would like to definitely, get your thoughts and feelings on this most recent news that we found out here locally in Buffalo, New York, about one of the lead Antifa.
What do you think happens now? Do you think that the school put something out, or no, not at all?
I don't know.
think they should.
I don't think they will,
because again, the truth will set you free. Say we made a bad judgment.
Mm-hmm.
This person was convicted of this. It's not false,
right?
We realized that a lot of kids were under his care. If anybody has any trauma or has anything to say, we are here to listen. That's what I would do.
I mean, you would think, but I think now after what happened, they might offer counseling services to some of his students that may not have been aware of his actions, because a lot of these predators will only exploit children that they know that they can get a grip on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are some students that are like, to get away, you're weird,
Well, yeah, or
I had teachers
traumas themselves.
Yeah, I had teachers in school and in college that I thought were kind of fucking off, and the last thing I would want to do is have a private conversation with them.
See, people, you know what that's called? That's called your intuition. And you listen to that voice, and no matter what it is, it's yours.
That's a song.
That's your conscience. That's your intuition.
If your gut tells you something's up, it's up. And I had this gut feeling about this asshole for a while. I think I was one of the original ones that said it looks like he molests children, and then other people jumped in and said, yeah, he kind of looks like a pedophile. Kind of looks like he's off. I wouldn't want him teaching my kids. So I'm not the only one that had that gut feeling about this guy. He just gave me that. I mean, with that goofy bow tie and that goofy smile and the weirdness, perception is reality. Would you agree with that statement?
I would.
Perception is reality.
And there's nothing like a first impression. Can't have a second one.
Can't have a second one. And this guy just wouldn't let up. He just wouldn't let up. And when I think what pushed him over the edge was when we put him up next to Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
I don't think he liked that very much.
He didn't like the thought of us doing a Raw live show in front of his house.
First of all,
he didn't like the fact that one of the 3 addresses I had was his.
Nope.
And he didn't like the fact that Raw Live was going to show up.
He did not.
But that's what we do. What else are we going to do? That's what I don't understand. Like, I have a disconnect. My disconnect is I don't understand why I wouldn't go there.
Well, here's the thing. In the old school, okay, and you can take this even into, and I don't want to use it, like even mafia, they don't handle things via phone.
No.
They handle their business in person, whether something goes bad or good, and they shake hands or they pull out a gun. But the point is, we offered him an opportunity to share his side.
Well,
what's your side of the story? Convince us you weren't the one doing it. Convince us you were. If you weren't the one doing it, you would not have had an hour-long dialogue with us on Facebook. You would have straight up said, I don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone and block.
No, you can't prove it.
Yeah, he kept saying, you can't prove it. You can't prove it.
That stuck in my head. That's almost all I heard of our conversation, because I was like, he just lied to me right there by just saying that.
Yeah.
You can't.
There's things that people say that just give themselves away.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little kid with, chocolate all over their lips saying, I didn't eat the fucking chocolate.
Wasn't me. And I told him he has to say it. I said, I understand you can't admit to this.
Yeah.
I know you can't, but I know it was you, and you know it was you.
You know it was you. Stop the shit. But
he just wanted it to go away.
He wanted him to go away.
That's what he said. I just want it to go away.
And we gave him that respect. But then 2 weeks later, he did it again. And then we put his picture up very promptly again. And at that point, it was what? A week later? Week and a half?
It's been quiet here. And
I made a comment.
It's hard to post when you're in
the clink.
When you're behind the bars.
No email access.
No, a lot of time to think about what you've done.
A lot of time. Well, he didn't have a lot of time. He thought about it real quick and decided as soon as I get out of here and I'm in my comfort of my own home where my computers are.
Who bails you out?
I wonder if he whacked one out in jail.
Do you know?
What?
If I got arrested for that, would you bail me out?
No.
No, I'd actually go online and I'd say I denounce.
I would expose you.
Thank you.
I would put your face all over the fucking news.
Thank you.
Yes, I would bash you.
Okay, good. That's why we're friends.
That's disgusting. Well, thanks. I appreciate your friendship.
That's why we're friends.
That's great. You're my friend.
I wouldn't want any other actions.
I can't condone that sort of behavior. It's disgusting. It's repulsive. It's gone on more and more and more and more lately. It's been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay. With social media now and all these people going out and setting up bait traps on trying to find people looking for underage kids. I mean, don't you think you'll get caught? How do you have that feeling of superiority that you don't think you're gonna get caught?
Narcissistic behavior.
God bless you. You are in the right seat, my friend.
That's right.
I gave T.O. his own parking spot.
I got the window seat. This is my badge of honor.
Yeah.
You know, because when you do a lot of, well, I'll explain why next show. You guys turn into why this is my badge of honor.
Yeah, we'll be back Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and hopefully be able to make some sense and maybe have a further conversation about this yip that thought it would be a good idea to harass us and give us a hard time and spam our everything and be a joke, you know, and now he's paying the price. And we're gonna give him his out song. Oh, goodbye, bye, bye. Oh, bye, 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 bye.
Nobody knows the people he hurt.
Don't mess with Raww Live.
Definitely don't do that.
Don't mess with Raww Live. I wonder if he says that to the kids. We'll see you Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2X in the Boomer. We are out with a special exclusive. Thanks, everybody, for